Good morning. It is 7:30 and I'm just heading out of Big Lake Youth Camp. We compromised. I think we're all happy with it, but there was the debate of whether to stay for breakfast or not because breakfast was at 8:30, which is kind of late, especially because we're going to be hitting snow today. So our compromise was not go to breakfast, but get a later start so we can sleep in a little bit. So that's what we're doing, and as can be expected by camping next to a lake, everything is wet. Just all of my things are very soaked, so I'll definitely need to take some breaks and put everything out to dry. I tried a little bit this morning and it did not work. It's not warm enough yet, but yeah, my sleeping bag's damp and my tent is very, very wet. But yeah, I'm excited to keep hiking, getting a head start in front of Crater and Dirty Harry, and then hopefully they'll catch me just in time to go through the snow together. And I think I've mentioned this before, but Frizzle and McNugget are two other people from our group that we used to hike with, and then they got ahead of us, and then we hitched in early just when we were supposed to catch up to them, and now they're still ahead of us. So we're trying to catch them. They're like less than 15 miles ahead of us now, so it should be easier to catch them, but still something we need to do. So we'll see how many miles we do today. If we did 2:24s, we could stay at Olali Lake in the evening, but we don't want to like commit to 24s when we're going through snow, so we'll just see how we feel. So one kind of funny dash kind of sad thing that I discovered, it's mostly good for me. So this whole time when we've been hiking and talking to Sobos, we'd ask them, you know, how are the mosquitoes in the neck stretches? And sometimes some people would say like, oh, it's not as bad or something. But most of the time, Sobo hikers would be like, oh, it's really, really bad. And then we're like, well, good luck. It's also really bad where we're from. However, as we got more north, the mosquitoes have gotten better. And so we wondered, and we're just like, are they just getting better because it's later? Or is the Sobo's definition of really bad not very bad, and they're in for a very rude awakening when they get farther south in Oregon? Well, at the Big Lake Youth Camp, I was talking to a girl, a woman, who had been hiking going north, and around Crater Lake the mosquitoes were so bad that she decided to go to Cascade Locks and go southbound instead. And she can now conclusively say that the mosquitoes in south of Oregon are way worse than the ones in the north of Oregon. So therefore, every single Sobo who has told us the mosquitoes are so horrible in northern California and northern Oregon are just gonna be like horrified when they get to southern Oregon and figure out that they were wrong and it can get worse. I find it a little funny, even though it's kind of sad too. PCT. Also, I looked it up, and the boob flowers are actually Indian basket grass that is flowering right now. So that's his real name. This must be a skiing area because the signs are way up there. Well, this doesn't apply to me. But good job to the few people who have made it this far. I have met 2 hikers so far who went all the way through the Sierras. But seriously, the 2 people that I've met that have not flipped and are all the way here because they went through the Sierras in early May are my heroes. They are really like intense. We asked them like, well, but what did you do about the storms? And they're just like, we walked through them. I'm just like, dang. Alright, that's it. I'm hitching back to Bend. Just kidding. That was a kind of stressful, wow, I have sunscreen everywhere. Hold on. Anyways, that was a fairly stressful road crossing because it was so busy. I had to wait for quite a while before I could safely cross. Another funny thing is there's a sign right by the trail that says Pacific Crest Trail a quarter mile, which is clearly not the case. Well, this is interesting. It talks about a reroute for 0.8. What I don't know is this updated in GitHooks or is it like brand new? I don't know. All right, here we go. Mount Jefferson Wilderness. Snow should be starting in the next 3 miles or so. All right, I found a good yard sale area to dry out my tent, so I'm gonna wait for a while, see if people catch up to me. I'm not gonna do my sleeping bag, but everything else. I'm having top of foot pain again. It is a very slight pain. It's easy to ignore it and just walk through it. It's like a 1 out of 10 pain. It makes me so nervous because so many people I know got stress fractures from top of foot pain. I had some a little bit yesterday, having some a little bit now, and it's very slight, but I'm just like, please stop. Just stop, please. So many butterflies. Can't tell if they show up on the screen, but they're everywhere and they're so cute. There's Mount Jefferson, so we don't get to see it. We're filtering water at this lake. We've done 14 miles so far. So far the snow wasn't so bad, but I think we're gonna hit a little bit more snow later. Honestly, I'm struggling today. The miles feel really hard. My feet hurt, but yeah. Aw. Honestly, when I have days like this where I'm basically in pain all day, and it starts early, so it's not after too many miles, and I've been hiking slow, and I'm taking breaks, and I'm doing everything right, and it still hurts constantly, I definitely get like thoughts of quitting. Like, it's just not fun, not worth it, don't want to get a stress fracture. The only thing that's really keeping me going right now is I'm like 50 miles away from 1,000 miles. I really want to at least make it to 1,000 miles. Haven't shared this yet with, I guess, videos. I've shared it with people in my real life, but I'm not going to be through hiking all the way for sure. When I got unpaid leave from my work, I only got it for the end of the school year, and the expectation was that I come back in August, but I could have quit my job in the summer. Like, I'm not on a contract or anything like that, but I've actually been missing my job. So over the last few weeks I kind of decided I would go back to teaching in August. So I'm going to be a long section hiker instead, and finish the next few sections in the next summer and stuff like that until I'm all the way done. So that's happening for sure. And I guess the question is just, when do I stop my lash, my long section hike? I at least want to do 1,000 miles, but today is hard because my feet just hurt pretty bad. Whoa, huge lake underneath in a big old burn area. I think walking through a burn area all day definitely doesn't help, because like you're just seeing the same thing all day. It's not very pretty, so your mind doesn't have many things to think about except for how much your feet hurt. So I'm sure that if I was going through a super scenic area, I'd be having a better day despite my feet. Anyways, I'm just keeping it real. Not every day is sunshine and flowers. Sometimes it's not that fun, and that's just how it is. And you just have to push through, but also know when to stop pushing through. All right, here's that sign again. So I think this is the official detour. We just passed the Minto Pass. Noticing a lot of wood piled into the trail, so we don't get this way. And then I'm just gonna assume this is it. Alright, looks like it's old enough of a change that gut hooks is updated, so I don't have to worry about being off trail from gut hooks, so that's nice. I do have a complaint that these signs didn't have the mile markers on them. They didn't have the date on them. Like, I feel like those are two very important things that it was missing. So you didn't know if this was like a recent change, if they had just posted it like yesterday, if it's been like this for 2 years. I just had no idea when it was first posted. So I feel like those are two vital pieces of information, like, hey, at mile 2010 or whatever mile it is, this is what's going to happen. And we've made this change November 2018 or whatever. Like, I think that would have been important information. Man, this dead area is just massive. It goes on for miles, it feels like. I'm feeling a lot better again. My foot's not feeling better. It feels the same, but I am mentally feeling better. I didn't even do it on purpose, but I listened to a podcast from the porch. I've talked about them before, but it happened to be on anxiety and letting go of anxiety, and it kind of made me realize that, like, I get really anxious when my feet hurt because I start to build it up into this big thing of like, well, what if it gets worse? What if I get a stress fracture? What if? And it makes the pain feel worse. So by letting go the what if, even though the pain is the same, it feels better because I don't need to worry about what's happening tomorrow. So I'm feeling better. Alrighty. Last water source for the day. So I'm gonna grab probably 3 liters because we're dry camping. And I'm gonna wait for Dirty Herring Crater because they haven't caught up yet. This is the second time I've put my feet in a lake today, and it really does help. Sheltered spot, and look at that view. I'm super excited about dinner tonight. I'm having Kraft mac and cheese with real butter, powdered milk, and cheese melted in. It's gonna be so good. With real cheese melted in. It's gonna be so good.